Have you ever wondered which Southeast Asian cities are expanding fastest right now, and why their growth matters to your future travels, investments, or next big move? Southeast Asia is not just growing, it is transforming. From new skylines and booming ports to tech hubs and bustling residential districts, the region's cities are changing at a pace that reshapes economies and lives. In this video, we're counting down the top 5 fastest-growing cities in Southeast Asia for 2025. We'll look at what's driving their rapid expansion, population surges, big infrastructure projects, foreign investment and policy changes, and we'll explore what that growth means for jobs, housing, transport and the environment. Whether you're planning to visit, invest or move, understanding these cities now gives you an edge tomorrow. Hit subscribe and ring the bell. We cover the cities and trends that actually matter. Let's dive in. Number 5. Jakarta, Indonesia. Jakarta's official estimates show an increase of about 198,000 people in the last year, a growth figure that translates to roughly 1.73% annual change for the city proper, and even larger shifts across the wider metropolitan area. Jakarta is both giant and evolving. Land constraints and congestion in the old city have pushed manufacturing, logistics, and many new residential communities outward, while the national government's investment in new infrastructure, ports, highways, and the relocation of some government functions to new administrative centers reshapes urban economics. Jakarta's role as Indonesia's political and financial hub makes it a magnet for migration from across the archipelago. That internal migration sustains demand for housing, retail and services. Recent mega-projects aim to modernize flood controls and expand mass transit, but the city's challenges are systemic. Land subsidence, extreme traffic and air quality are all side effects of decades of rapid urbanization. Still, for businesses, the Jakarta metro remains essential. Huge consumer markets, growing middle classes, and improving logistic links mean opportunities across sectors from fintech and e-commerce to real estate and logistics. If Jakarta can accelerate resilient infrastructure and better land use governance, it will convert population growth into sustained middle-class prosperity. Number 4. Cebu, Philippines. Cebu's metro area grew by roughly 19,000 residents over the last year, about 1.82% growth, but that statistic understates a larger trend. Cebu is fast becoming a national logistics, tourism and knowledge services hub. Central Visayas, anchored by Cebu City and its surrounding urban areas, has outpaced many other regions in attracting investment and substantial infrastructure projects. A new international container port, expanded bridges, and airport upgrades are escalating the city's role as a regional trade and manufacturing node. The so-called Cebu narrative reflects decades of private sector dynamism, but in 2025, that dynamism is matched by strategic public investments that lower trade costs and spur more firms to relocate manufacturing and back-office operations to the island. Tourism growth, a strong domestic market, and competitive wages relative to Metro Manila make Cebu an attractive alternative for both firms and workers. Yet rapid demand strains housing and transport. The recent push for new ports and roads must be balanced with urban planning that prevents sprawl and reduces vulnerability to natural hazards. For investors and remote workers, Cebu offers growth, quality of life, and lower living costs than the capital, making it one of the country's fastest-rising secondary cities. Number 3. Manila. Metro Manila, Philippines. Metro Manila's urban agglomeration grew by about 288,000 people in the last year, an annual change near 1.93%. The Philippines remains one of the fastest-growing national economies in Southeast Asia, and Metro Manila, the country's political, financial and service center, absorbs much of that momentum. The region's growth is powered by a booming services sector, particularly business process outsourcing and digital services, remittance-fueled consumption, and accelerating infrastructure spending under national plans to relieve congestion and improve connectivity. New rail lines, expressways and airport upgrades are gradually knitting distant suburbs into the wider metropolitan economy, which encourages residential and commercial development in places that were once far from the city center. However, Manila's growth story has well-known caveats. chronic congestion, extreme flood risk, and affordability pressures for housing. Informal settlements and uneven delivery of utilities remain entrenched problems that rapid economic growth alone does not solve. The silver lining is that the sheer pace of investment means opportunities in construction, logistics, healthcare, and digital services are abundant, and that means wealth creation if urban management catches up. For viewers, Metro Manila represents both the dynamism and the fragility of rapid urban expansion in Southeast Asia. Number 2. Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh City continues to expand fast. Its population increased by about 248,000 people in the last year, representing roughly 2.6% annual growth. Economic momentum in Vietnam, export strength, foreign direct investment, and a surge in services and tech manufacturing funnels into HCMC, where new industrial zones, logistics hubs, and tech parks are unlocking jobs at scale. The city's appeal is twofold. Businesses can access skilled young talent at competitive costs, and the domestic consumer market is swelling as incomes rise. Big infrastructure projects, mass transit lines, riverfront redevelopments, and expanded airport capacity are reshaping commute patterns and making previously remote districts viable for large residential developments. That rapid transformation is visible in the skyline and in the numbers of new high-rise condos, shopping centers, and co-working spaces. But growth is also stressing older neighborhoods. Gentrification and land disputes are common, while traffic and flooding remain chronic headaches. Ho Chi Minh City's planners are trying to accelerate public transport and drainage upgrades, but infrastructure often lags private sector construction. For entrepreneurs and expats, HCMC offers enormous energy and opportunity, especially in tech, manufacturing, and tourism. But success depends on navigating local regulations and being sensitive to the social and environmental impacts of such rapid expansion. Number 1. Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Phnom Penh has emerged as the region's sprinting city. Its metro area population jumped by roughly 73,000 people in the last year, which is about 3.11% annual growth, one of the highest rates in Southeast Asia. That surge is not accidental. Cambodia's economy recorded strong expansion in recent quarters, thanks to tourism rebounds, manufacturing growth, and expanded services, and Phnom Penh is the primary beneficiary. The city's skyline and transport arteries are being upgraded, new residential and mixed-use developments are rising, and a cascade of public projects from expanded airports to new highways is drawing both domestic migrants and foreign investors. The country's opening for tourism and investment means hotels, retail, and hospitality jobs multiplied quickly, pulling in young workers from the provinces. At the same time, Phnom Penh's relatively low cost of living compared with the region's megacities makes it an attractive place for entrepreneurs and startups seeking scale without the top-tier rents. But rapid growth brings challenges. Pressure on urban services, traffic congestion, informal settlements on city edges, and environmental stress on the Mekong tributaries and floodplains. City planners and developers are racing to balance fast economic gains with resilient urban systems, water management, public transport, and affordable housing, or risk widening inequality and worsening livability. For travelers and investors, Phnom Penh offers a compelling combination of high growth and still affordable opportunities, but anyone engaging with the city should watch infrastructure plans and land use rules closely, because the patchwork of rapid development can change neighborhoods literally from one year to the next. These 5 cities show how Southeast Asia is not just growing, it's reinventing itself. Phnom Penh's blistering percentage growth, Ho Chi Minh City's industrial and tech surge, Metro Manila and Cebu's Philippine boom, and Jakarta's continual urban evolution together underline a region in motion. Growth brings opportunities, jobs, new services, and dynamic urban life, but it also brings responsibility. Planners, investors, and residents must prioritize infrastructure, resilience, and inclusive housing, so growth benefits everyone. If you enjoyed this tour of Southeast Asia's fastest-growing urban centers, like the video, subscribe for weekly deep dives on cities and trends, and tell us in the comments which city you want us to cover next. We'll make a full long-form episode on the most requested one. Thanks for watching. See you in the next city.